Hello and welcome to a brand new video. I can't log into RuneScape, it's been down all morning, which kinda sucks. We can't get a new intro clip, but I found this beastly clip of me standing outside the Inferno from a couple months ago, which is really fitting because that's what today's video is about. The Inferno, one of the hardest challenges in RuneScape, 69 grueling waves of harder monsters that come at you again and again and again, working your way up to Zuck, that big boss. One of the hardest things to do in the game is to get an Infernal Cape. At least that's what I thought anyway, and the Infernal Cape is one of the most rewarding things you can do. It looks awesome, it has insane stats, it's way better than the Fire Cape, doubles the strength bonus. So yeah, I'm going for this here. And this here is the first week of trying, and everything I've learned, I've actually found a way to do wave 1 to 67 incredibly safe. I mean, like, you cannot die or fail these waves if you use this method. So what I'm wearing here is full Justice Shower with a Dim's Bulwark. There's 3 types of monsters in RuneScape: Mage, Range and Melee, and in the Inferno it's no different. There's the 3 of those that attack you, but if you're wearing full Justice Shower with a Dim's Bulwark and you protect Mage, you're pretty much protected from everything. Very little monsters in here will deal any damage if you have the Dim's Bulwark on. This thing soaks up 20% of the damage you receive, but it also has 148 range defense. So if you combine that with full Justice Shower, you're sitting over there on 525 range defense. It just makes the Inferno so much easier when none of these monsters can hit you. Now, for anybody who's really good at prayer switching or anything like that, or who's done the Inferno before, you don't need to use this method. But if you're a big noob like me and you've never done the Inferno before, this just makes it like 99% positive you'll make it to wave 67 unless you disconnect or something really bad happens. Like, even the higher up monsters, when you're getting attacked, it's always going to be Mage, Melee and Range. I'm speeding this up. This boy just hit me 27 zeros in a row and then 113, 27 zeros, and he's 165 combat. The Bulwark is really overlooked in the Inferno. Even the special attack is insane. So for any of you who've never done the Inferno before, every single wave 3 little nibblers will spawn and they'll run straight towards a pillar and start attacking it. They'll spawn within those 9 tiles I've marked. I've marked 4 actually, but within that box 3 nibblers will spawn in any of those squares. So sometimes they're split up, some there's 2 at one side, 2 at the other, or 1 in each square. Sometimes a barrage won't hit all 3 nibblers, which means one will get through, they'll damage the pillars. It's really annoying. But have a look at this here. So this here is the hitbox of a barrage. Everything you attack, it will hit 1 monster around it, so 1 tile in every direction from that main attack where you hit, which doesn't work if the nibblers spawn 2 tiles apart, because there's a gap between them more than 2 squares. This here is the hitbox of a Dim's Bulwark special attack. I'm not trolling here, this is generally the size. It will attack every single monster inside these boxes. Actually, that's not even big enough. It's actually an 11 by 11 box, so we need 1 more row here. This is how big the Dim's Bulwark special attack is, and it doesn't just attack everything within that square once. It attacks the one you focus on, the one you click on first, 2 different times. It hits the first one twice, hits everything else once, so it just rips nibblers to pieces. When you're wearing the Dim's Bulwark, you have a massive range defense, so you're going to take no damage. So in the high waves where there's loads of stuff attacking you, it just makes it the perfect weapon. It should kill them all with 1 spec because they're only 10 HP. If it doesn't and there's 1 left, you can just punch it. If there's 2 left, just double spec and that will deal with them. You're in all your tanky stuff, run into a safe spot and then just finish the wave off 1 monster at a time. Super easy. I tried specking through this wall just to see if it would work. You cannot spec through walls, but it still hits an 11 by 11 square, which is just massive. So yeah, Dim's Bulwark for noobs in the Inferno, highly recommend it. Wave 68 and 69 are insanely hard. I have found a way to get through wave 68, which will help anybody out. You can actually practice this wave. Well, not exactly, but you can do this thing in a tournament world where you can take on 6 Jads at one time, which means you can just practice wave 68 over and over in max gear on a tournament world with no consequences, none of this run up, no having to do all the waves. So if you want to do an Inferno, I'd highly recommend waiting until the tournament worlds come back on. Trying to take down the 6 Jads, you don't actually have to beat them all, but if you get used to fighting 6 Jads, 3 will be real easy. That means wave 1 to 67 is incredibly safe. 68, 3 Jads, you'll be practiced in, you'll know how to deal with it, and then there's just 1 more wave till you get your Infernal Cape. So you can actually make the Inferno much easier than just going in there and trying to whack out all 69 waves with prey flicking and all that, because it would really suck if you do all 67 waves, you spend a good few hours getting to triple Jads and then you just die. I'd hate if that happened. but if you know what you're doing on that wave, you'll probably be fine. Zuck's a different story. You have to practice, you have to get good, you have to get to Zuck, and then you have to complete him. So you want to watch loads of guides, know what's happening in that wave. I've not beat him yet, but it is definitely coming. Gonna get a few more prayer levels and then hop back in. But yeah, I'm gonna show you my first week now at the Inferno, how I done. I have been streaming most of these attempts, so some of you probably already know, but I'm gonna do all the highlights and all that kind of stuff for you guys. I didn't know about this bulwark until today, so it'll be in future attempts, but yeah, enjoy the clips. And I've got a really nice clip at the end of this video for you guys. Something that just happened yesterday. I got the biggest drop I've ever got in old school RuneScape, which is just insane. This whole week's been awesome actually. I hit 100 million total XP. Done a couple of Inferno attempts and had a load of crack playing old school RuneScape. So yeah, here's my first ever attempt. We were live on stream. I ran over, hopped in, and the first attempt went terrible. I didn't watch any guides, and I'm going to show you all of my mistakes so you guys don't have to make them later on. I didn't know that the nibblers spawn every single wave, and you have to be ready with the barrage and hit them. A good thing to do later on in the waves is to click log out before you finish the wave. Then you have a bit of time after the wave to position yourself, get right, brew up if you need to, restore if you need to, let your spec restore. Your HP and your run energy gets frozen after a wave if you click log out, if you're in that like pause stage. So don't run about the arena after you pause it or all your run energy will be gone. But it is really good for renewing your special attack and getting ready for the nibblers. So first attempt sucked and we left. Second attempt, I'm not going to lie, went as bad. I did eventually mark the tile where all the nibblers spawn, so knew where to look at the start of every wave. Pro tip for any of you guys, mark that tile, it's really useful. It's back at the start of this video if you want to go back and get it. We did crack on with this wave and tried to like get better at all this stuff. Without a guide, you do need to find out what's happening. They're completely wrecked everything in the whole wave with one barrage. After the third wave, there's a wave where 6 nibblers spawn instead of 3, so you're actually better with 6 with an ice barrage because it'll freeze all of them. And because there's 6 spawning between those 9 tiles, it's really likely that there'll be one in the middle, which means your barrage can hit all of them. I don't know if... yeah, you could use the bulwark either, but I'd keep the bulwark for the final waves. It actually didn't spawn where I could barrage all of them in one go in that wave, so you can just see how kind of flawed the barrage is to deal with the nibblers compared to the bulwark. Although I would say 9 times out of 10 an ice barrage is the way to deal with it, because usually now I get to the high waves and all of the pillars are nearly full health. If you do get the barrage where it doesn't kill them, you just need to be quick killing the final nibbler. This isn't a guide by the way, it's just things I've noticed in the first week. I might make a guide after I've completed it. But yeah, what you'll notice if you're no good at prey flicking, a lot of what Inferno attempts is just waiting for Sardome and Godsword specs. They renew your HP, they renew your prayer. It just means you can get to those final waves without using any resources. In our second attempt, even with that bad start where the pillars got wrecked, we managed to make it up past wave 20 without using one Sardome and brew or one full restore. Eventually you can get from wave 0 to wave 67 without using any like food or prayer. You just wait for Sardome and specs. Then you have all your supplies to deal with the final 2 waves. I would only do that if you know you're going to be able to complete the final 2. So either if you've practiced the triple jads in the tournament world, or if you're really confident that you'll be able to do it. Your best, use all your supplies, get really deep into the Inferno just so you know how to deal with those waves, and then eventually do attempts where you're going to get it. Again, nibblers spawning really bad where a bulwark would have killed them, but the ice barrage didn't. Our second ever attempt, we died on wave 23 to one of these blobs. He hit us with a mage attack. We have really low mage defense and we were praying range like, so just messed up really bad there. I was reserving all my supplies over eating or brewing because you can restore everything, just be waiting for specs. I should not have been doing that. I should have just been like using all these supplies, see how far we get that practice in the higher waves. Another thing I noticed is it's super expensive. You don't use many brews, you don't use many restores. If you're doing a good run, you shouldn't be using many of them, but the runes just disappear. I was healing up with blood barrage and it's like 2.7k every single time you cast that spell. You use ice barrage and all the nibblers, so you have to cast it loads even if you're really good, and it's like 1.7k, so you will go through runes really fast doing these attempts. You will spend a couple of mil just on runes trying to get an infernal cape. I'd like spent everything on my bank on gear, like sold all the stuff, bought a load of gear, so it's funny to have to sell everything to buy more runes. Big shout out to anybody who lent me any gear. If you do lend me stuff, I'll take really good care of it. I'm just messing, by the way. I did give him back his ACB there the other day. Some guys were offering me like T-Bows, Ellie's, Ancestral, all that kind of stuff in the live stream, which is just insane. I'd never accept something that expensive because I'd be too worried about like getting hacked or something. I know it'd never happen, but if it's something cheap, I can just do a bit of Rune Dragons and then replace it. Like an ACB is just a couple hours at the Rune Dragons or something like that. A Tebow, if anything happened to that, I'd never be able to replace it. So yeah, thanks for the offers though, pretty awesome. Some lads chipped in for runes and stuff as well. I'll on phone. But yeah, thank you guys for all the support during the live streams. I will be live streaming all of my big like Zuck attempts and all later on. I managed to die wave 24, so we only beat our PB of wave 23 by one wave, and then we messed up with these here blobs. Blobs are the things that'll kill you early on if you don't know what you're doing, but once you get used to learning them, or you can just pray mage and wear your full Justice Shower with the bulwark and like punch them. They hit that little with their range attacks if you're wearing that high range defense gear, you know, that you shouldn't be dying to the blobs at all. So day 1 we made it to wave 24. Day 2, second stream, I managed to get a heart rate monitor hooked up, which was pretty cool for the Inferno attempts. I made it way further in all these attempts because I knew how to deal with all the early waves. The only thing that could kill me was later on the Rangers, but now that I've worked out that a bulwark just makes you so safe in those waves, they won't even cause me a problem. So second day our attempts were just way better. Our PB went from 24 to 58, and the only reason we died there was because I prayed the wrong thing. We could have done a few more. It was really funny, as soon as I died in the Inferno, my client just crashed. Like the second after I died, after being online for hours, the client crashed. The timing was just perfect. The mouse doesn't move. I didn't get the rune light, do you want to close the client warning. It was just so strange. Live on stream, just died. If I had died if the client had closed 5 seconds before, I would have been so raging, but it just died and then it turned off. I was like, what? That is so weird. Anyway, I hope that doesn't happen in any future attempts or I will be raging. We done another one that night, died on wave 29, which isn't great. It was just the blob again, he gets me every time with them mage attacks. Had loads of supplies left. I'd done another run, got to wave 52 and then ran out of membership. Like everything was just going wrong this day. I died to a really silly thing twice and then ran out of membership on wave 52. But luckily one of the lasses in the CC hooked me up on RS3 with 14 days, so I was able to get rebonded without hopping into a free-to-play world, if you know what I mean. So it didn't move my account from the Inferno to Lumbridge, and that way I was able to log back in and carry on in the Inferno. So massive thank you for that. That would have been so annoying, like hours of progress just lost. So we were able to carry on from wave 52 and we managed to set a new personal best, wave 62 out of a possible 69. On like our 11th attempt or something. These attempts are really long, they take a couple of hours each. If I mess up too early in the start, I'll just restart. There's no point in carrying on if the pillars are really badly hurt. But here I thought I'd just get attacked by the blob once and the mage once. So walked out with prey mage, swapped to range so the blob would hit me after with range. But then the mage hit me again. It was just bad timing. I didn't know I couldn't like run in and Zardom and Godsword spec them. But I'll know for future attempts, so I'll never die like that again. But yeah, really annoying death. Wave 62. And that was it. That is the end of our Inferno journey for the week. I had ran out of money, couldn't buy any more runes. All of my money was in gear. Here I can't even afford tacits for doing a nightmare trip. I don't have claws for a spec wep. I'm extremely poor because everything is in Inferno gear, but I decided, let's do a wee trip at the nightmare with all the boys from the CC. And this here's how it went. There was me, a lad who's been quite a few times, I think his name is Afherb, and there was also K9N, and he had never been at the nightmare before. Let me just show you a clip from his first trip out. So he's never done a kill before. I'm not saying this is bad or anything, it's just he didn't know what to expect. The parasite infected him, he didn't drink the balm, he got comboed out and died. That's how his first trip went. Here is how the second trip went. We got the kill, the three of us. He has never got a kill before in the first KC at the nightmare. We got the Inquisitor's legs, 3-man trio. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, 150 mil class, you know. And then we were going to go to G and sell them, and I was like, oh, let me keep them for a kill, saying I don't even have tacits or whatever. But I was thinking these things are 150 mil. I wasn't getting too excited. It's like 50 mil each. It'll pay for all my supplies for more Inferno attempts. That's great and all this. But then the penny drops. These things aren't 150 mil. I don't know why I thought they were, but these things are 600 mil in GE, and they're not actually going for 600 mil. These things are way more expensive than I thought. I was thinking we were getting like a 50 mil split each, which would have been insane. I would have been really hyped for this, but that's not what happened. Once we realised how expensive they were, I was like, alright, never mind about doing another trip. We'll head straight over to GE and chuck them in. The lads noticed on this other website that tracks like GE trades, they were actually going around 800. We whacked them in for 790, they didn't sell, so stuck them in for 750 mil, and they went for 781 mil, boys. How insane is that? 260 mil each from one kill in the Nightmare. And what's even crazier than that, it was K9N's first ever kill. He's killed one Nightmare, one KC, and he made 260 mil profit from it. That is just insane. I'll be able to upgrade all my gear. I'll be able to buy as many Blood and Wrath runes as I'll ever be able to cast. It's just perfect timing. Like, I was running out of money, couldn't even do more trips. Now I can upgrade my gear, I can do more trips, do as many trips as I want. I'll be getting the Inferno cape on this account in the next few weeks, so I'm really looking forward to that. Hope you've enjoyed this video. It's very different. There's loads of info that'll help you with the Inferno, and then there's this at the end. But yeah, I've been having a blast playing the game. I hope you guys are enjoying it at the mint too. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy. Bye.